Keep coming in and taking your seat. This is the penultimate session for Fresh Connection, and this session is proudly sponsored by SHEP. SHEP have been marvellous supporters for fresh produce and for the company that I'm chairman of, AFCO. And they are outside, and please take the moment, as was mentioned before with Vizzy, to visit their stand. I know they would appreciate it. This session is entitled, How Critical is Fresh Produce to the Retailer? And it's my duty to introduce Greg Davis, who is the General Manager of Fresh Produce for Coles Supermarkets. Greg leads a team right across Australia, some 150, 200 people responsible for fresh produce through those supermarkets. Greg's had 18 years in retail, covering most of the tasks, marketing, supply management, production, operations, and right through the whole retailing train. Prior to joining Coles, Greg spent 9 years with Aldi and gained international experience with that organisation, and was responsible in 2001 for the opening of the first Aldi stores here in New South Wales in the western suburbs, and presided over a period of magnificent achievement in now creating more than 200 stores. Must have been some pretty exciting times, Greg. 2 years ago, Greg, however, joined Coles, and I think you'll learn later on that that's been a pretty successful time as well. With all of that experience, I don't think there's anyone more eminently qualified to address us today on the critical nature of fresh produce to retailers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask Greg Davis from Coles to come forward.
Thank you, and it's great to be here at the PMA. Hope you all enjoyed the culinary challenge that we had. I thank you for participating. We had a great time. Firstly, just before I get started, I'm really pleased with what I've seen over the last couple of days. You know, real interaction, real connection. You know, hopefully we come up with a lot of great ideas and then you come and start sharing them with Coles. To Michael Worthington and his team, thank you for inviting us. We're really pleased to be a part of the Fresh Connections. So in putting this together today, I've got a quick presentation, and I'm really happy to answer some questions so we can talk a little bit more. But the presentation really starts off with food trends and the foodie revolution. And for me, we had Maggie here on the stage talking about the foodie revolution, and it's everywhere within Australia. It's it's capturing the nation. It's on our TV shows. Customers want to know about food and where it's come from, how to prepare it, how to cook it, who grows it, everything we can find, everything they can find information-wise, they're looking for it. And so for me today, I thought I'd start with that foodie culture, and I'd start it with the foodie culture is killing the TV dinner culture. If we remember back to the 1980s and the 1990s, two-income parents, time poor, come home, put the TV dinner in the microwave. That's what customers were doing. And now, there's this love affair of food again. But the problem is they missed out on Grandma's secret recipe, or that special ingredient that was handed down from generations to generation. So there is a thirst for information, a real thirst for information. I think we should be aware of that. And with the onset of technology, that thirst for information is just there at customers' hands and grips, almost on the run. So a quick search of the Apple iTunes shows 1,000 food apps, how good it is, nutritional-wise, who grows it, where I can get it from. You know, there's 10,000 iPod podcasts on iTunes. These foodie generation can listen, watch, hear, do whatever they need to do to get information. They're just really chasing it down as much as they can. On top of that, we spoke a little bit about MasterChef today with Maggie, and I think I had a tear in my eye when she hugged that gentleman from South Australia. MasterChef, 4.4 million viewers. The third all-time ranking show in Australian history on Australian TV. It's an incredible number. Does anyone know who the first and second? Anyone? The first one's a tennis match and the second one's a rugby match. You know, it's the #1 ranking show, other than sporting, in Australia. It's a great achievement. And it's changing the way that we shop. Customers are shopping. So with our Feed Your Family campaign, giving people inspiration and value for under $10, there's been 25 million, that's right, 25 million recipes cooked so far in that campaign, and it's still going strong. So if MasterChef, Feed Your Family, great marketing campaigns that allowed us really to get us to where we are at the moment in our turnaround. So before I move any further there, I'd like to talk about Sundays. So Sundays in the Davis household starts with pancakes normally, but they're special pancakes. They normally have, Michael be pleased, shredded pear or shredded apple in them, so they are a little bit foodie related or produce related. But they're special because my little son cooks them. It's 10-year-old Jacob there in his Coles, decked out in his Coles cap. But it's not the fact that there's, well, there is the fact, it's interesting for two reasons. One, there's a whole new generation of foodies coming through, and we need to keep on remembering that the children of today are thinking about food in a whole lot of different ways. But two, and the real special thing that what makes this priceless, is that Jacob and I cook it every Sunday morning and we interact. And that's what's happening around food. There's interactions again in the family. So there is a food revolution. I think produce is at the heart of it. It's important. We talked about consumption today. It's our ticket to sell more produce. Forget all that, you know, there's a whole health side as well, and I'll move on to that. But this foodie revolution, we need to capture it. So why is fresh produce critical to retailers? Really the simple answer there, as all retailers do, we always come back to the customer. So it's important to retailers because it's important to customers. And I thought I'd share some consumer insights that really just basic insights that I'll quickly go through to talk about why it's important. First of all, it's important to customers because we need to eat for subsistence. It's a fundamental human need. It's also important because it's healthy. There's nutritional benefits for it. But there's also this challenge of obesity. Yeah, I was shocked to find out Australia has the fastest growing obesity rate among developed nations. I think there was an OECD survey in 2011 that said Australia had the fastest growing obesity rate and that 1 in 2 of us are obese. And in 10 years, that number will increase by another 15%. We need to do something about that, and produce and the produce industry is probably at the forefront to be able to make a difference. Recently, in the US, Michelle Obama launched the My Food Plate, and the reason why I put this up today, if you look on there on your right, left, the whole food pyramid, very complex. It's just now, simple food plate, put 50% of your produce, 50% of the plate should be fruit and veg, and you'll eat healthily. That's another indication that we're just trying to make it simple for customers. If we can tell them and get this across, and we should all challenge ourselves to try and eat 50% on the plate every time we eat. So the final 2 out of the 4 consumer insights was really around eating at home and eating for interaction, and that's really the foodie culture. More and more Australians are eating at home. The economic conditions, there's a lot of pressure, interest rates, concern about the economies. That's driving value. That's why they're eating at home as well. But there's also, we're designing our houses. The kitchen's now in the middle of the home, opened up next to the dining room so we can share this foodie experience. And then finally, just like Jacob and I on Sunday mornings, there's this whole interaction. As a community, we interact around food now. And we need to ensure that produce plays a big part. So what does it really mean to retailers? I thought I'd get down to some more of the numbers. First of all, customers tell us one of the main reasons why they go shopping is for fruit and veg, and it drives more traffic. So you just get more customers into your store. They also say if you put specials or promotions on them, that'll make them go shopping more often as well. More traffic in your store, better for retailers. They also tell us they'll buy more. Now this is where You look at this wonderful produce that was set up today by Thomas Starks, looks wonderful. The small independents know this. They've always known it. If you put a great display and it just looks wonderful, and we've all seen them, you know, it's almost like you just want to grab it. Customers buy more. They keep on buying more. So independents have known it for years. We're just sort of learning it now, and we're really sort of working how do we create wonderful displays in stores so we can really create that impulse buy. And I would argue that produce is an impulse buy. Independents have told us that. And we've also been told customers will buy more, they'll spend more, buy more, if you give them a reason. Hence the feed your family for under $10. If you give them recipes, they'll actually buy more. And then finally, if you do a great job of fruit and veg, it makes you want to come back. So the research tells us great quality produce, you get more customers, they buy more, and they're more loyal for you. Pretty simple. So to win, obviously, for any retailer, the customer needs to come first. And at Coles, this is where the hard decisions really start, because every retailer worth their salt will include customer in their mission statement or the number one thing they're going to do. And for Coles, what we've really done is tried to make the hard decisions and work within doing the right things in the right way, but make the hard decisions around making the customer come first. So we've increased our quality specifications, put more demands on our store teams. We're training them and spending millions of dollars on training the store teams to ensure that we look after the produce so that we can deliver for the customer. So a little bit about Coles. We have 740 stores around the nation. All communities around the country. We have 13 million customer interactions every week. 85% of Australians live within a 5-kilometre radius of a Coles store. We support the communities that we're in. It's great to see, we're in Brisbane, it was great to see, or in Queensland, our Emerald store just opened up just after the floods, and it's, that community again is back up on their feet. We deliver fresh to stores every day, or most of our stores every day around the country, and we work very hard to ensure that wonderful produce turns up into our stores as quickly as possible. In Victoria, we've done a lot of work, and we've now got some product coming out of the fields, harvested into our DC and out to stores, and on good days, they're there within 12 hours or 24 hours. So it's a wonderful reduction in getting stock from the field to the store and on show, and we're really priding ourselves on making a difference there. We travel 52 million kilometres a year through our supply chain network across Australia just to support those communities and get produce, fresh produce, into those stores. We have 100,000 team members supporting those communities. And the way we're trying to support the communities and support our stores, support our teams, is to be compelling, engaging and unique. And this world sometimes really falls into a Me Too world. Everything's quite similar. And what Coles has tried to do over the last 2 years is be a little bit different. Try and challenge ourselves to be different so that we can run our own race. And this compelling, engaging, unique also sort of finds its way into all our marketing campaigns. And I have a quick video just to show you some of our marketing campaigns, and I need to get Curtis on because all the ladies always say, can you show Curtis? So a quick one here with Curtis.